All right, bro. Now listen here. You quit muting me on here before I beat the goofy out. No, sir.
Okay. I don't even know who that was. All right. So what do we do? What's the relationship that this angle has with these two arcs? Can anyone tell me? Unmute yourself, please. Ms. Warren, what do you think? No relate, you don't know? Okay. Okay, so this angle is on the outside, so it is 1/2 times the difference of the big arc minus the small arc. Any questions? Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, find x. So we're trying to find the measurement of this angle right here, of this arc right here. Okay. Measurement of this arc right here. Now, okay, so how do we find that? Well, remember the small angle y is equal to 1/2 times the big arc minus the small arc. Okay, so the big arc is half a circle, so it's 180 minus the small arc, which is 10x. Okay, we know angle y is 45 degrees. Okay, now we can distribute the 1/2. We get 90 minus 5x. Now, do your algebra, subtract 90 from both sides, get negative 45 equals negative 5x. So x equals 9. Again, you have to remember there's only 3 relationships that you need to know, that you need to basically memorize. Whether the circle is on the angle is on the inside, on the side, or on the outside. If it's on the inside, it's the 1/2 times the sum of the angles, sum of the arcs. If it's on the side, it's 1/2 the intersected arc. And if it's on the outside, it's 1/2 times the difference of the big one minus the small one.
Can you go back, please?
Yes. Back to the problem or back to the formula?
The problem.
Okay. So let me walk through these problems one more time. So in order to find this angle right here, angle x, it's the 1/2 times the difference of the big one minus the small one. Big one's 120, small one is 50. So 120 minus 50 is 70. And 1/2 times that gives me this angle, which is 35. Now, to find angle Y, okay, angle Y would be equal to the big arc minus the small arc, okay? So Y, which is 45, equals 1/2 times the big arc, which is a semicircle, which is 180, minus the small arc, which is given to be 10x. To solve for x, we distribute the 1/2. So 1/2 times 180 gave me 90. 1/2 times negative 10x gave me negative 5x. To solve, I subtract 90 from both sides, get negative 45. Negative 45 therefore equals negative 5x. X equals 9. All right. Are we good so far with everybody? Is Bradley, we good? Okay. All right. Let's do another one. Let's do number 23. Number 23, please. So for those of you looking for a little bit more explanation, we're trying to find x, and 5x is equal to this little curve or this little arc right here. So the way I approach these problems is by looking at, okay, am I dealing with an inside angle, a side angle, or an outside angle? And based on which one of those three angles I'm dealing with, I have to use the appropriate formula. So is this an inside, outside, or side angle? Besides more, is this an inside? Am I dealing with an inside angle, outside angle, or a side angle?
I'm not sure.
This angle right here, is it on the inside of the circle? Is it on the
That's
side?
outside.
It's outside. So the outside means that it's going to be the difference of the two arcs. It's 1/2 times the difference of the two arcs. So the angle is equal to 1/2 times the big one minus the small one. Okay. So what do I know? The angle, we're given actually the angle measurement is 25 equals 1/2 times the big one, which in this case is 90, minus the small one, which is 5x. Now we distribute. Subtract 45 from both sides. Okay. Now remember, we're going to divide both sides by negative 5/2. And dividing by negative 5/2 is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. And that gives us 8. -2. -2 times -20 is positive 40. 5 times 1 is 5, so 40 over 5 becomes 8. So x equals 8. Can I move on? We good? All right. let's look at, let's see here. Let's look at the number 30. Okay, number 30. I'll let y'all look at it for a second and see if y'all can figure it out. Now I'm going to make a little bit of a change to number 30 to make the problem a little bit easier. There you go. See if that helps. Did that help anybody?
Answer is 180, right?
Yep, the answer is 180. What would this angle be, by the way? If that's 180, what's that angle? What would be that arc if that's 180?
That one's 182, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, let's look at how the problem was given to us. Okay. Without me making a change to that problem, this is how you would approach it. You would say, okay, that's the measurement of this arc. Okay. That means the small one is 360 minus x. Why? Because we don't know if this line goes through the middle. I just made that change, but normally we know that from here to here is x. So from here to here has to be whatever 360 is minus x, because a full circle is 360. So if this is x degrees, the rest of it must be 360 minus x. So we plug it into our formula. Okay. The outside angle equals 1/2 times the big angle, which is x, minus the small angle. Then you first start off by distributing the negative. Combine your like terms within the parentheses. Okay. Distribute your 1/2. solve for x by adding 90 to both sides? Any questions?
Yeah, okay, so. All right, I see where you got, 30 equals 1x and it's still in parentheses.
Mhm.
How did you go from 2 or x minus 360 plus?
Oh, yeah, I made a mistake, sorry.
Okay, you're my, oh,
No, probably, my bad. Thank you for keeping me honest.
okay. So it equals x minus 180. So it is 210.
Yep. Okay. Any questions? So take home point about angles. You need to determine whether the angle is formed on the inside, on the side of the circle, or on the outside. If it's on the inside, it's the sum of the two angles, 1/2 times the sum of the two angles. If it's on the side, it's 1/2 times the intersected angle. And if it's on the outside, it's 1/2 times the difference of the big one minus the small one. Okay. Any questions? Okay. All right. So we're going to stop here for today. We're going to talk about special segments tomorrow, which is a little bit more complicated because it involves a lot of quadratic formulas and stuff. So I don't want to introduce that right now because it might be just a information overload. All right. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to email me some problems that you can't do, just take a snapshot and email it to me, or you can send it via Remind as well. And yeah, we can go from there if you need any help. All right. If you don't have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. And I'm sorry about who that stalling trash is. I don't have an earthly idea. So,
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
yeah, to come into a geometry classroom.
That's not, yeah, that I don't even know what to say about that.
Yes. All right. I'll talk to y'all
Bye.
later.
Thanks, bye.